Hunter is in Florida for us again tonight. And Paul, so many challenges facing people in the disaster zone.
It's unreal, Ian. Although the storm itself has long since passed, we've had clear skies for a couple of days now. The real challenge tonight for countless in this state is, once again, water. Along what just a few days ago was a neighborhood street in Northport, Florida, now sit abandoned cars, marooned homes, and a kind of stunned disbelief this is even happening. Paul Busal fled Fort Myers for Northport just before the storm hit, thinking that here he'd find safety.
I left early before it started over in Fort Myers.
You left Fort Myers, and you came here?
Yes.
And what do you think of what's here?
This is crazy.
Northport now suffers renewed flooding. There's so much storm water in Florida winding its way back to the Gulf, it's overflowing a nearby river and stranding those who live here. There's no fresh water to drink, no power, and in Florida's heat, no air conditioning.
My daughter's having a hard time. She's disabled. She wants to leave. And I told her we can't leave, we can't get anywhere,
Meanwhile, closer to the Gulf Shore, on San Carlos Island, west of Fort Myers, the twisted wreckage from the storm remains everywhere. Likewise, the vivid stories of those who stayed put and survived. You were here when the storm hit?
Yeah, I was foolish enough to stick around.
At what's left of George Luty's home, he tells us his story of Hurricane Ian. Caught by surprise when the storm turned inland, the water rising quickly, storm raging, nowhere to go, he saw dogs, cats, furniture, cars, and boats swirling past his place as the water rose higher.
It's getting so high, I'm going for plan B.
He showed us the ad hoc life preserver he grabbed, his construction helmet for safety, and picked up the story with the water 3 meters high.
So I was up there like this, hanging onto that, one leg over this, back up against there, and stuff was just boom, hitting me in the back of the head, hard enough to jostle me like that. And if it wasn't for this, that would have knocked me out. I would have been drowned. They probably would have found me right here.
These are the kinds of stories that abound in these parts right now, while recovery workers continue their massive cleanup and rescuers keep up the search for survivors in need, but are finding more bodies, as George Luty told us before we left.
I still have friends that are missing.
A reminder the stories from this part of Florida will get worse.
Paul, for those of us watching the video, the magnitude of the damage is hard to grasp. And what's it like to be seeing it all firsthand?
Well, a couple things, Ian. One, the fact that it is everywhere is almost overwhelming. You just never stop seeing debris from the hurricane wherever you drive around here, as far as you can go. So there's that. But on a smaller scale, we were driving today in a neighborhood a couple of blocks from here. We just kind of took a turn in randomly. Looks like a suburban neighborhood. Every house was intact. No real problem. At the end of every house, a mountain of garbage, because they had to throw out everything they owned inside the house. They didn't lose the house, but the flooding has caused them to throw out everything they own. It was so sad. It almost made you want to cry. Every house, mountain after mountain after mountain of their personal belongings, all gone right in front of them.
Oh, so incredible, Paul. Thank you very much.